New York State cancels the Democratic primary, and new developments in the Tara Reade case against Joe Biden. Let's talk about it, y'all. Middle America. Well, there I was. I was on the road, actually. And don't text and drive, but I saw a little update from my Middle America thingamajiggy, and so I checked, and it was the great, the one and only Izzy Jimenez, our resident Bernie Sanders operative. She was actually working, like doing the work, like pounding on doors and all that, which was all an exercise in futility, my sister, unfortunately, because our guy, our champion, our Goliath, turned out to be nothing more than a temporary distraction from the ongoing march of the DNC's march against our democracy. Now, a person might say, Vin, you're using hyperbolic terms. You're talking about the DNC and their march against our democracy. No, dear listener, I'm not. But the reason I'm shooting this video is because the great Isabel Jimenez used the term Trump 2020 in her post. Actually, what you can see, I'll actually show it to you, beautiful people. I have survived many bad policies by many bad presidents. I don't think I can survive a lack of democracy. Trump 2020. It was at this point where I was like, whoa. I almost crashed into a ditch. Because, like I said, Izzy has been working very faithfully in the Bernie campaign to try to get us Bernie. And so for her to say Trump 2020, I thought was crazy. I thought she was joking. It turned out she was serious. I said, "Are you really going to vote for Trump?" She responded by saying that she said yes. I was going to say that she responded by saying she was close to it because I still don't think I can handle that reality. And then she went on and told me about how the Democrats in New York City had stricken Bernie Sanders from the ballot. Here is CNBC.com. New York Board of Elections strikes Sanders from ballot, cancels Democratic presidential primary. The New York State Board of Elections on Monday canceled the state's presidential primary scheduled for 23 June after striking Senator Bernie Sanders' name from the primary ballot. This is supposed to take place on 23rd June. I think it's time for us to recognize that the presidential contest is over, Commissioner Doug Kellner said while explaining the decision. New York, with its 274 delegate pledges, gave Sanders one of his better chances to rack up some delegates. I'm not going to read any more. I'll put the link in there and you can read the nightmare for yourself. Now, there's multiple ways to look at this. There's one sense in which you could say, all things being equal, for all intents and purposes, this race is over. However, this ignores, and this has been outed in a very peculiar moment in history. Why? Because, what was it, 2 days ago? The audio or the video from the Larry King tape in which not Christine Blasey Ford, I'm sorry, she'll be relevant in a second. Tara Reade, her mother, called in to Larry King and said that her daughter had a situation with a senator that she respected, and she kept her mouth shut because she respected this person so much, which is obvious corroborating evidence for the accusation that Miss Tara Reade has made in regard to Mr. Biden. Now, keep in mind, Tara Reade, as of last year, tried to get help on this situation. Before the primaries even began, she tried to get help on this situation. And the good folks in the Time's Up movement, you know, the whole Me Too, Time's Up, everybody was doing this in the Oscars, you know, because we're not going to tolerate this anymore. Where white, powerful men get to abuse their power. They went to the Time's Up. She went to the Time's Up organization, as we reported earlier, and as everybody else on the planet, except for MSNBC and CNN, have reported. They didn't do anything with her because it was Joe Biden, and they didn't know if they could legally prosecute a case against a sitting presidential incumbent. SubhanAllah. At the time, he wasn't even the vice president. He was nothing. Very, very interesting. And of course, Biden has a treasure trove of, I think, over 1,300 documents that are being held under lock and key by the University of Delaware that they're not going to reveal until after the years of his public office are over, and particularly after the election. So there's a lot of information that we don't know about Biden, and that the University of Delaware is keeping secret, or being kept under lock and key. Now, why would that be? So let's get this straight. The Time's Up people couldn't help Miss Reade. And then if we wanted to go for more corroborating evidence to see if there was a sexual harassment claim against Biden, we won't know until after the election, per the University of Delaware. Yep. And so when they say, look, the election is effectively over, I said this after Super Tuesday. I said the thing was over after Super Tuesday. And then I came back on here and admitted I was wrong. You know why? I don't like admitting when I'm wrong. That's why I do a lot of work in research, and that's why I have things like this visible, and that's why I show you guys the links and the screenshots of these articles, because I hate being proven wrong. But even me, in my infinite wisdom, I had to admit that I was wrong, and that was because of the situation with Tara Reade. Tara Reade, who tried to get attention to this over a year ago, and keep in mind, Tara Reade did not come out initially for herself. She was backing up another woman who was accusing Biden of inappropriate touching, etc., etc. Now, we've all seen the videos. We've got a whole slew of Biden videos of him making young women feel extremely uncomfortable, etc., etc., etc. So I said, hey, I was wrong. Bernie's got a chance now because of this Biden situation. And New York says, yeah, we just saw the Larry King thing where the mom jumped on and all the rest of it, but what do we know? It's over. How do you know it's over? Who told you it was over, New York? Who told you that? You know what this is? This, to me, is the DNC powers that be knowing full well it is not over. This is an extremely controversial move by the DNC, and they know it. And the reason is because this whole Tara Reade situation has then created a step down Biden or step down Joe, whatever it is, hashtag. And so what they're doing is they're making sure that the guy that, according to Mrs. Biden, and this is what she said, that we're all supposed to swallow, is the only guy on the menu. That's what this is. This is them understanding that the thing is far from over. And you know what's going to happen? Bernie Sanders and Noam Chomsky and all the rest of these idiots are going to come on and tell us that we still need to vote for this guy. Knowing full well that he's been credibly accused. Let me remind you, dear listener, the term credibly accused, I was introduced to that term during the Kavanaugh situation. Now, I have never given my official take on the Kavanaugh situation. It's because I wasn't there. The alleged incident happened over 20, 30 years ago. There was going to be no criminal charges pressed, obviously, but it does have an impact on whether or not Mr. Kavanaugh was going to be a viable candidate for the Supreme Court. Do you not remember the entire circus that came about due to that situation? Don't you remember that? MSNBC, Rachel Maddow, CNN, Don Lemon, what's her name, Alyssa Milano, all those people outraged, talking about Believe Women. Don't you remember the whole Believe Women situation? Let's review some issues, though, with the Christine Blasey Ford situation. First of all, here we go, Business Insider, the same group that just told us what I'm about to tell you in a second. Ford has named 3 other people she says were at the high school party when she was assaulted, including one who she claims was in the room. But then, all 3 denied recollection of such a party and have all confirmed through their lawyers they've all offered to cooperate with the FBI of their supplemental investigation, the allegations against Kavanaugh. So, Christine Blasey Ford says these 3 people were there. She names them. All 3 of those people were like, we don't even remember such a party happening, much less being in the room when such a party happened, because we don't remember the party happening. That doesn't mean she's lying. It simply means that after 30 years, it's very possible that you could have been to a party and you forgot about it. It's very possible. But it doesn't corroborate her stance. Here's another one. A high school pal of Brett Kavanaugh accuser Christine Blasey Ford says in a new book that she's skeptical of Ford's claim that the Supreme Court justice sexually assaulted her at a party in the 1980s. I don't have any confidence in the story, Leland Kaiser, who Ford said was at the party where the alleged assault occurred, told 2 New York Times reporters in their book. Those facts together I don't recollect, and it just doesn't make any sense, Kaiser insisted, of Ford's account, according to the authors. Okay, so there's another one that's coming out and saying, one of the accusers, one of the folks that she named that came out and said, nah, that didn't happen. And then, of course, there's this. I was angry and I sent it. Another Kavanaugh accuser, this is USA Today, another Kavanaugh accuser referred to FBI after recanting. You had 2 women who recanted, one of them who said it was a political strategy, the other one who said she was pissed off so she sent the email where she makes all these claims and then all of it turned out to be false. Then she names 3 people who said that it was there, and all 3 people said, I wasn't there. One of them said, I don't really believe the story. And yet, CNN, MSNBC, all the leftist outlets rightly said that doesn't mean that she's not telling the truth. But they covered it, they covered it, they covered it, they covered it, they covered it. Of course, you had Alyssa Milano crying all that jazz. Don't you remember? Well, let's see if the same situation happened here. Here's Miss Lacasse. This is, again, Business Insider. They popped this about 6 hours ago. This is a friend of Tara Reade, who is currently still a Biden supporter. This woman, Lacasse, has not repudiated Biden yet. Let's see what she says. Oh, Lacasse told Insider that in 1995 or 96, Reade told her that she had been assaulted by Biden. I remember her saying, here was this person that she was working for, and she idolized him, and he kind of put her up against a wall, and he put his hand up her skirt, and he put his fingers inside of her, and she felt like she was assaulted, and she really didn't feel there was anything that she could do. Lacasse says that she remembers Reade getting emotional as she told the story. She was crying, she said. She was upset. And the more she talked about it, the more she started crying. I remember saying that she needed to file a police report. Lacasse said she does not recall whether Reade supplied any other details like the location or the alleged assault or anything Biden may have said. I don't remember all the details, Lacasse said. I remember the skirt. I remember the fingers. I remember she was devastated. This is from somebody who is a supporter of Mr. Biden. You see the contrast? Christine Blasey Ford points out a couple people by name. All 3 of them said, I don't remember that at all. Don't remember the party. Don't remember being there. Definitely wasn't in the room. Another person who was her friend, noted as her friend, says, I don't really think it happened. Then 2 of the accusers who corroborated the story came out and said, one of them said this was a political ploy. The other one said I was angry, so I sent it. And yet, CNN, MSNBC, and CNN continued to push this story and to excoriate Mr. Kavanaugh. Now again, I am not saying who I believe in that situation, and what I think of it is absolutely irrelevant anyway. But now we've got a situation where there is corroborating evidence. There's the Larry King thing where the mom called up and said that her daughter was in that situation around 94, 95. Now this does not prove anything definitively, but it certain circumstantially leads us to believe that something happened to this young lady. And then you've got a Biden supporter who said, oh yeah, I remember when she told me that. She was crying, she was devastated, she looked so upset I told her to file a police report. I do remember the fingers, I do remember the skirt. It corroborated exactly what this woman said. And to this moment, CNN has not asked any pointed, direct questions to Mr. Biden. Now here we go, I'm on CNN.com right now. Trump repeats false claims. Texas, Famotidine, stocks, Lakers, UFO videos, Michelle Obama, the rise of Skywalker. This is the front page, ladies and gentlemen, of CNN. I'm going to go to, I'm doing this live right now, guys. I'm doing this live, okay? I'm going to go to MSNBC. Now, I'm going to go to Fox News, and let me see if Fox News is covering. Because remember, last time we did it, Fox News has Biden silent. I think I'll probably find some way to put this into the thumbnail, guys. There's Fox News, Biden silent, MSNBC. Why Seattle successfully curbed coronavirus infections as New York became the global epicenter. Well, is that fair? Sure, that's fair. Nervous Republican sees Trump sinking, new report shows. President's speech forces wet points candidates to campus for testing quarantine. Al Gore on Trump pandemic response. Andy Lack, journalism is under attack from coronavirus and Trump. No, Andy Lack. Journalism is under attack, and nobody believes you because of bullshit like this. Front page is all this nonsense about stupidity. Now again, the coronavirus stuff, sure, but why do I want to hear about Al Gore? You think Al Gore is a more important topic, MSNBC, than the topic that we're talking about right now? Oprah Winfrey, Julia Roberts, former President George W. Bush appear in Global Virus Relief livestream. Well, I think that's very great. It's very heartwarming. I don't care. Why aren't you talking about this, MSNBC? Why isn't this on the front page? Where is it? Representative Hill, federal relief amounts to over 35%. None of this stuff. No, it's nowhere to be found. Here we go. Oh, I found a picture of Joe Biden on MSNBC. It must be about Tara Reade. No, first deadline for possible transition of power nears. These people are not covering this woman. They're blocking it out. They're not giving us pertinent updates. And you have to find this information from alternative media like Rising or Jimmy Dore or me. So that might be why nobody believes in the mainstream media anymore. It's because you guys have no credibility whatsoever. And now, New York is telling us, the thing's almost over. Even though there's now a hashtag step down Joe Biden attack going on. Even though a former Clinton advisor just told everybody that Joe Biden needs to sit down. But now we're supposed to believe that they shut down this stuff in New York because it's over. Nope. They shut it down because it's not over. And is Bernie going to stand up and say, hey, this dude is credibly accused and we've got some circumstantial evidence enough to believe between her mom calling, between this person who supports you, who remembers in vivid detail how devastated she was after an interaction with you, and over the numerous videos we have of you putting your hands all over women and them being obviously uncomfortable and you not having the sense of mind to know what the hell you were doing, you need to step down and they need to elect me, and if it's not me, they need to put somebody else in there, anybody but you, because number one, you're going to get skewered by Trump because you have obvious mental decline, but beyond that, we're not the party that advocates for people like you who are credibly accused of sexual assault. We're different. We're better than the Republicans. I know right now in the comment section, a very, very smart person who wants to be ignored is going to say, but Trump. I'm not a Trump fan here. But the fact of the matter is, Trump said what he said about grabbing girls by the junk or whatever. He got on TV and said, hey man, it's locker room talk. He never pretended to be anything other than what he was. A lecherous guy who obviously has issues with controlling himself. He never pretended to be anything else. It was the folks on the Democratic side that were pretending that they actually cared about women. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And you know, look, man, if you believe New York, that they shut down the thing because of coronavirus, these people care about coronavirus. Wasn't Joe Biden the guy that was telling us a couple weeks ago to go vote if we weren't symptomatic? Did you see that video I shot? But now they want to use coronavirus as the reason for why they're shutting down the thing. Look, man, I love Izzy. I do. I love you. I respect the hell out of you. I can't rock with you, Izzy, and vote for Trump. I can't do it. I can't. But I understand where she's coming from, because her logic is like, look, I could deal another couple years of bad legislation, and legislation I don't agree with. But I cannot deal, and I will not be a party to, the destruction of our democracy. And I don't know if you've woken up yet from the morass of the nonsense that happened over the last. I've been telling you guys that the Democratic Party have been running a psychological operation game on us for the last 4 years with this impeachment nonsense, with the Russia nonsense. I've been telling you guys over and over again that they made Trump the number one problem so that they could shove anybody in your face and you would have to, as Mrs. Biden said, swallow it so that they could push their nasty ass agenda that they would never get past a Democratic primary, because people who vote Democrat would never, all things being equal, ever vote for a guy like Joe Biden. Joe Biden, in the midst of this corona craziness, said he would veto Medicare for all if it went to his desk. You know what that means? That means that currently speaking, the Republicans control the Senate. And in some strange alternate universe, somehow a Medicare for all plan would have been approved even by Republicans. And if it hit his desk, Joe Biden would say that the Republican-approved Medicare for all bill, which would have been stripped of anything meaningful, he still would have vetoed it. You think your average Democrat would ever vote for a guy just on that alone? No, they never would. If you made the well-being and health of the American people your number one priority and value, but if you make this boogeyman who's supposedly worse than Hitler and the most dangerous president we've ever had in our lifetime, that's what Bernie said. Now we are stuck, not with a guy who jokes about grabbing girls by the junk, but with a guy who probably actually did. Now, I'm not going to go where Izzy's going, but I'm definitely not going to vote for Joe Biden. That's not happening. And it's almost like God in heaven is trying in all these different ways to get Bernie to stand up and be a man and do what needs to be done. And Bernie is continuously saying, no, 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 no. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. What else could you have, Bernie? What else could you have? You had an army of people who were willing to go to bat for you and jump off the mountain for you. And you left them all, and now you've turned around and you call us irresponsible for not voting for Biden? Are you out of your mind? I'm irresponsible because I won't vote for a guy that did this to a girl, most likely, and I won't vote for a guy that doesn't know who he is or where he is. God forgive me if there's anything in my heart that's mocking this guy. I promise you I'm not trying to mock this guy. No, you're irresponsible, Bernie, for telling us all to overlook all that bullshit so that we can vote blue no matter who. Nope, not gonna happen. Not doing it. I will vote Green Party or something. I will vote for freaking Joe Rogan. I am not voting for Joe Biden. And neither should you, by the way. You shouldn't vote for him either. Anyway, YouTube's probably going to demonetize this video. I don't care. I don't care. Right is right. Wrong is wrong. I was in a fireside. A fireside's a live stream. Probably do one tonight or tomorrow. I'm not sure. And somebody asked me about the clip with Larry King, where it was clear that her mom was talking about it, and I said the clip made me sad because it means that, see, in a perfect world for me, this would be just a political ploy, and that really didn't happen to Tara Reade. That would be the best case scenario for me. I'd feel bad for Biden. Somebody's making up a lie about him, but it comes with the office, right? It doesn't come with the office to be an intern and get sexually assaulted by somebody that you admire. So it was more preferable to me that she just made up a lie than that actually happened to her, and she carried that for 30 plus years. And now, I can't speak for her, but it's got to be worse when your sisters, Me Too, and all the other nonsense just completely ignore you. I haven't covered the story a lot. I haven't done a break-by-break video on it because it's too depressing. Tara Reade's just a name to all of us, but she's an actual human being who had to carry this crap around. And being a person who's worked with the incredible women who've survived sexual assault, I didn't want to look at it, to be honest with you. But sometimes you gotta look at it. This is madness. This is madness. Anyway, I have nothing more to say. Unbelievable stuff. Shout out to all the survivors of sexual assault, male and female, because that's a whole other group of people that never get believed. And if you you think men are going to come out and talk about their sexual assault issues when they've been sexually assaulted at the workplace, you think men are going to do that when this is happening to women? The way they're being treated? The way Blasey Ford was treated and the way that this lady's being treated by the left and the right? Please. We all get the message now. We're all just commodities to these people on their road to power. That's obvious. You're just you're a little stepping stone. Because make no mistake, the Republicans are using this woman as a stepping stone. Just like the Democrats are avoiding her like she's some stumbling block. It's the same thing. She's being dehumanized all across the board. It's absolutely sick. Sick stuff in our country, I'll tell you what. I'm out of here. Love your neighbor. Take care of each other. Middle America, we are the media. Till next time, guys.